Class, welcome back. Alrighty, before I begin, I do want to say I apologize if the background noise is too loud. I'm going to try to talk a little bit louder so that I can kind of override or minimize the noise in the background. There's nothing I can do about it right now. All right, so let's begin. Let me pull up my screen. What are we going to learn about today? Well, I'll tell you what we're going to learn about today. Let's see, let's do that. Bingo. All right, class, today we're going to learn about fractions. Now, some of you probably learned about fractions last year, and that's fine. We can have a little review session. Maybe you can refresh your memory. And for those of you who didn't have fractions last year, you're going to learn a ton of new information today, and it's going to be real fun. As always, we begin with our objectives. So I read, and then you read. Today, I will learn to identify and label fractions. Now it's your turn on 3. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Great job. Any questions? All righty. L1 support. So raise your hand if you speak Spanish. Any Spanish? Oh, look at that. Half of the class. Now, as usual, we're going to have a little Spanish lesson here embedded, known as L1 support. Objetivos. Hoy aprenderemos a identificar y a etiquetar fracciones. Así que ahora ustedes lo van a leer a las 3. 1, 2, 3. Muy bien, bien hecho. Así que vamos a aprender cómo identificar y etiquetar fracciones. Vamos a aprender sobre eso, así que escuchen muy bien. Preguntas, ¿no? Okay. Now, how many of you like pizza? Raise your hand if you like pizza. Pretty much everyone likes pizza, right? All right, now imagine that I give you a pizza. And you don't have to imagine, I guess you can look at this screen. But if I give you a pizza and I cut it into 2 equal parts, right down the center, just like it is right here. I cut it right down the center. So now you have 2 equal pieces, right? Well, what if you eat one of those pieces? So if you look at this arrow, this piece is for you, and you're going to eat that. And what would we say? What would we say that you ate out of the entire thing or the whole thing? What would we say that you ate? I'll give you an example. So if I was going to eat this pizza, I would say, oh, well, if I got 1/2 of the pizza and I ate it, then I would say I ate 1/2 of the pizza, right? That's pretty straightforward. Now, if we were going to write about it, all we do is we just write what we say, because verbally we say, I ate 1/2 of the pizza. Well, if we're going to write about it, then we just say 1/2, right? You spell it out, 1/2. And I'm sorry for my writing here, penmanship. It's actually not penmanship because I'm using a mouse. It's really hard to write with a mouse. 1/2, right? Well, the thing is, in math, we have a different way of communicating, right? So instead of saying 1/2 or writing 1/2, we use symbols, and those symbols look like numbers, all right? And that's what we have here. I want you to look at this symbol. They look like numbers. You have a 1 up top, then you have a line, and then you have a 2 on the bottom. You see that? So we're going to learn some vocabulary here. The top number is called the numerator. Everybody say numerator on 3. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Now this bottom number is called the denominator. Everybody say that on 3. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. So we have the numerator and the denominator. And again, I'll give you a little trick. denominator starts with a D. Which number is down? 2. So D is for down, D is denominator. All right, so the 1 up top, this number, it represents how many pieces we're talking about. So in this case, we're talking about you eating 1 piece. Well, you ate this piece. So that's 1 piece that you ate. Well, how many total pieces were there? Now let's look over here at the entire pizza. Well, there was 2 pieces in the entire thing. So that's why we have a 2 down here. So all you have to do is remember that the top number is how many pieces are we talking about, and the bottom number is how many pieces total are there. Simple enough, right? Any questions? All right, let's move on. So here's a different pizza. Now, let's say I still only gave you 1 slice. So you're only going to eat 1 slice, which is this one. All right. So again, the top number is for how many pieces we're talking about. Well, I'm going to write a 1. That's the top number because we're only talking about 1 piece. Now, am I going to write a 2 on the bottom like last time? No, exactly. Why? That's exactly right, because there are not 2 pieces. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. So instead of writing a 2, I'm going to write a 6. So I would say that I ate, or that you ate, 1/6 of the pizza. Simple enough, right? Top number, how many pieces we're talking about, how many pieces you ate. Bottom number, how many pieces total? 6. That's all we do. Excellent. Let's move on. So now you're going to practice. Sometimes, well, actually, no. I'm still modeling here. Sometimes they're not pizzas, but you can still think about them as pizzas because this is not a pizza. This is a circle, right? Now, we're going to write a number that represents, look, 1 piece, 2 pieces. 2 pieces are highlighted. So we're going to write a number, a fraction, that illustrates or represents this fraction, the shaded piece. So first of all, let's count. How many pieces do we see shaded? Here's 1 and 2. Where does that number go? Up top or at the bottom? The bottom. The top. Sorry, excuse me. Excellent. See, I wrote it at the top. I don't know why I said bottom. I'm getting ahead of myself here. And so what's the bottom number going to be? Is it going to be another 2? How many pieces do we see all together? Here's 1, here's 2, and there's 3. So let me erase that. There it is. This represents this fraction, 2/3. Everybody say 2/3. Excellent, good job. So again, top number, how many pieces we're talking about or how many pieces we're eating, and the bottom number, how many pieces total. Now, this is where you try it, all right? I'm going to pick someone to tell me what number goes on the top, and notice how it says here, colored pieces. This is how many pieces we're talking about. So you have a little hint. And here you have total pieces. That goes on the bottom. So everybody should get this right. I should be able to call on anybody. Everybody should be able to raise their hand, and I should be able to call on you, and you're going to tell me what number goes here and what number goes here. Let's see. Johnny. All right. What number goes up top? Always start with the top. You don't have to, but I recommend that you start with the top number. So, oh, look, it says colored pieces. How many colored pieces do we have? Let's count. Actually, you tell me how many. 3? That's exactly right. Good job, Johnny. There's 3. Now, how many total pieces do we see in this diagram, in this circular diagram? 1 more. 1 more? Exactly. So what's 1 more than 3? You have 4. That's exactly right. Now, I'm going to get rid of these minuses here so we don't confuse people. So how would you read this fraction? Well, you would read it as 3/4. 3/4. Excellent. Now, moving on. Okay. So sometimes we don't work with pizzas and we don't work with circular diagrams. Sometimes we work with bars. So you can think about it as a chocolate bar. You see that? This is another fraction diagram. So let me erase that. I want you to notice how this is one chocolate bar and you split it into two pieces. Now, after you split it into two pieces, well, if I give you this one, the shaded part, and you eat it, two pieces, you ate one piece, then that means that you ate 1/2 of the chocolate bar, right? Pretty simple. You ate one piece out of the two pieces. So it's the exact same thing as what we learned earlier with the pizza. So you can split different shapes into equal sizes, and they're still the same. You can split a circle into two pieces, or you can split a rectangle into two pieces, and it's still the same thing. Any questions? No? Alrighty, let's keep moving forward. Oh, now it's your turn. Okay, so now here's a chocolate bar, and we split it up. We cut it into how many pieces? Let's count. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we have 4 pieces, but only one is shaded. So we need to write a fraction that'll go here. And again, you have your little hint as to which is the top number and which is the bottom number. Who am I going to call on? Let's see. Raise your hand if you think you have it. Let's see here. All right, Susie. Let's see. What do you think the top number is? Top number, colored pieces. How many colored pieces do we see up top? You said 1? That's exactly right. 1 piece. So here's 1. Now, what's the bottom number? Can you tell me what the bottom number will be? Ooh, that's correct. 4. So how do we read this? We read this as 1/4. 1/4. Repeat after me. 1/4. Excellent. Great job. All right. We are making some progress. Oh, so Spanish speakers, just in case even if you're not a Spanish speaker, if you're curious as to how we say or name these fractions in Spanish, see the exact same thing. Here we have 1/2 or un medio, 1/3 or un tercio, 1/4, un cuarto, 1/5, un quinto, 1/6, un sexto, and so on and so on. And what do we have next? Oh, questions. Any questions for me? We are getting ready to work on our worksheet. This worksheet is pretty much the exact same thing. So for example, you see problem number 1, it's giving you the fraction 1/3, and we know that we read it 1/3, and you're gonna have to color in the bar. You see that? So everybody, you have your paper on your desk. Let's do the first one together. How many, let me exit this. Stop share. There we go. So how many of these little bars am I going to color in for 1/3? Anybody want to give this a shot? Joseph, how many am I going to color in? There are 3 little pieces. How many am I going to color in for 1/3? Ah, that's exactly right. 1. Only one of them. All right, just like that. And if you remember, the top number, it's called the numerator, and that tells you how many pieces are going to be shaded. So I think that's it. We are ready to proceed. I'll be walking around the class. Raise your hand if you have questions. You may work with a partner if you like. And let's get this party started.